In the software boom, millions of businesses were born out of digitalizing information, creating a 650 billion software market. But AI is the first technology that can actually automate labor, allowing us to tap into a far bigger opportunity, the labor market, which is $10 trillion in the US alone. To date, only 0.2% of the labor market has been automated. But with OpenAI moving into the application layer and established SaaS players transitioning to AI SaaS, the competition will be fierce. So in this video, I'll show you how AI turns small, boring niches into massive blue ocean opportunities for AI agencies and AI startups, show you how these niched AI softwares are suddenly raising millions from VCs in markets previously considered too small, with plenty of examples, and show you exactly which niches to go after and why starting an AI agency is one of the best paths to take advantage of this untapped opportunity today, even if you're not a coder. If you don't know me yet, I'm Ben. I've scaled both an AI agency and an AI SEO software to over $1 million in ARR in less than 2 years, and I've analyzed over 100 Y Combinator startups for this video. Now, as I said, we're at a historic opportunity right now. We're seeing the first AI-first software businesses popping up, going after the $10 trillion labor market, but most of the application layer is still unwritten, and most of the companies in the AI revolution have yet to be founded. And what's becoming increasingly clear is that AI is similar to other technological revolutions. Just like the steam engine or the software revolution, the technology needs to be specialized in order to get high-value outputs for specific industries and use cases. Steam engines needed to be specialized to create factory conveyor belts, and softwares needed to be specialized to create CRMs and apps. LLMs are like magic, but they are also messy, right? And businesses can't deal with black boxes, hallucinations, and error-prone workflows. So the people who specialize AI applications for specific purposes and niches do have a gigantic opportunity in the AI revolution. That being said, new AI softwares are popping up by the day. OpenAI is moving into the application layer with Sora, AgentKit, and Atlas, and other initiatives, and established SaaS players are quickly transforming into AI SaaS, while of course having large distribution, capital, and data moats. So the question becomes, how do we take advantage of this massive opportunity without competing with the big players? Now, to do that, we have to look at where the big players are going and where they won't go, at least initially. The large language models and established SaaS players will first of all focus on, of course, the broad, generic, horizontal use cases, right? AI browsers, AI automation platforms, AI consumer applications, etc. Second, they will most likely target the mainstream markets and the big industries they are already in, right? Salesforce and HubSpot will transition into AI CRMs most likely. Zendesk and Intercom will transition to AI customer service software, and Shopify will become an AI e-com hub. And they will, of course, also go after the biggest fish out there first, enterprise. And with AI democratizing software building, enterprises will start building more and more custom tools internally too. Now, I'm not saying there are no opportunities there, but the competition will be much higher in these industries. So where's the blue ocean opportunity if you don't have big VC connections, a huge amount of startup experience, or an existing software business? Now, what's left are the niches that were previously too small for SaaS and have therefore been underserved, and are also considered too small, of course, for the large language models. So first of all, we want to look at industries that are labor heavy, because we can provide the highest ROI to these industries with AI applications. Second, we want to look at niches that are fragmented. This means markets where the market share of the top 50 companies is low. Why do we want to focus on these? Because these markets are far easier to enter and to sell to as a new company. And lastly, we want to pick industries and niches with a limited customer base, because they've historically been ignored by SaaS because these markets were considered too small for SaaS. Now, before showing you why AI software turns that equation upside down and makes these small markets massive market opportunities for AI startups, let me give you some examples of industries according to this formula. Now, this is exactly the types of industries where we see a new wave of AI software emerging. And many of the businesses that fit the equation are local service businesses. It represents a $4 trillion market that has largely been untouched by SaaS. It is a very labor-heavy and extremely fragmented market, and many of them have potential customer bases of less than 30,000. Also, often these types of markets don't tend to have mainstream software systems yet, meaning they often have a fragmented tech stack and often rely on outdated software, barely any of which have done anything with AI yet. And in contrast to the SaaS era, we're seeing AI softwares popping up more and more in these tiny niches. Most of the examples here are YC, Y Combinator startups, and Y Combinator only invests in businesses with huge exit potential. And some of these started as AI agencies. So the types of AI startups we're seeing popping up is, for example, Barty, which is an AI operating system for eye care clinics that automates patient and doctor admin, bookings, and patient follow-ups. Then we have Vetneo, which automates notes and admin for veterinary doctors, replacing, of course, manual admin work. Then we have MD Hub, an AI front desk and admin automation tool for mental health clinics. Then we have Nautilus, which is an AI software for car washes that handles everything from memberships, payments, to marketing automations. We have Auto Ace, which is an AI voice agent for car dealerships to automatically book appointments. Then we have Cohesive, which is a lead gen automation platform for janitorial, landscaping, roofing, and flooring businesses. We have Aura AI, run by a friend of mine and a community member, Jonas, which is an AI receptionist that manages calls and reservations for hotels in Germany. Now you can see that these are all small niches that have been relatively untouched by the SaaS era. Now, service agencies, of course, is another type of market, which is very labor heavy and fragmented. For example, marketing, lead gen, and recruiting agencies. Now, these types of service agencies tend to be a bit more software native and tend to have a bigger potential customer base, meaning they have been more served by traditional software already, meaning the competition will be higher in this space. I still think there is a huge opportunity in these service agencies, but having a good distribution channel will become more important in these niches. Now, this is the approach we are taking, of course, with our systems for recruiting and our AI SEO system, where we target recruiting and SEO agencies. Of course, many of these AI startups also niche down by a specific geography, by a specific channel or a specific end customer to find a more untapped niche. If you want a full list of all the startups going after these small niches and a full list of niches according to this formula, just check the link in the description below and I'll give away the spreadsheets here. Now, before explaining why these small niches were largely untouched by SaaS and are now being funded by YC and VCs and have a much bigger market potential, I'll show you the type of AI software businesses that are being built in these niches. We're basically seeing two types of new AI softwares popping up. First of all is function-specific AI softwares inside of one specific labor department, for example, sales, service delivery, or marketing. And then we also have vertical AI SaaS popping up. Now, for many of these local service businesses, sales use cases provide a very fast ROI to these businesses because, for example, voice and chatbot use cases, like you've seen in some of the examples, and automated booking and intake applications, speed to lead automations can really increase these businesses' revenue quite fast because they lose out on a lot of revenue usually in these processes. For example, Auto Ace helps those car dealerships with voice agents to book in appointments and answer questions. In operations, automating the service professionals, admin, service delivery, documentation, client management, and invoicing can save huge amounts of time for the service professionals. Again, Vetneo does this by automating admin for the vet doctor, and we do this, for example, by automating much of the service delivery in SEO and content creation. And marketing use cases become very interesting too for these niches because many of these types of businesses were too small to afford marketing agencies or have internal marketing departments. And AI tools can now make it really easy and cheap for these companies to set up their own ad creatives or lead gen campaigns. And you see, this is what Cohesive does, for example, right? They go after the small businesses and make it really easy for them to set up their own lead generation campaigns. Now, that function-specific play is the best part to start attacking these niches, but from there is a second, even bigger play, which is building a vertical AI SaaS for the niche. Because many of these tiny niches have been underserved by SaaS, there is still an opportunity to become the main operating system for the niche with pre-integrated and niche-specific AI automations. And vertical AI SaaS, of course, have an even bigger opportunity. For example, right, Nautilus, again, YC founded, is a vertical AI SaaS for car wash businesses, right? Combining both the CRM, payments with pre-built AI automations for marketing, sales, and potentially customer support. Topline Pro does a similar thing for home service professionals and Barty for the eye care clinics. Now, why have these niches been underserved by SaaS and why do they become huge opportunities for AI startups and AI agencies? Because traditionally, the potential market size for these niches was simply too small to be interesting for SaaS and VCs. Take, for example, the eye care clinic niche in the US. There are around 19,000 clinics, And the reason there aren't a lot of eye care clinic specific CRMs, for example, is because the market size for that software would be too small. The value a specific CRM would give an eye care clinic is pretty limited. And with limited budgets and teams of these types of companies, the software spent from these niches tend to be small. For example, a clinic like this would most likely not spend more than $100 a month on a eye care clinic specific CRM. I worked in the CRM space, and this is what we tend to see with these industries. And giving it a basically a potential market size for the SaaS of $20 million, which is far too small to build a successful software or SaaS business. And that number would only be the case if you actually can capture the entire market, which is completely unrealistic. Therefore, these types of small niches have traditionally been served more by horizontal SaaS, like a local business CRM or a healthcare CRM. But but now AI software completely shifts the equation and makes these small market sizes huge potential market sizes. Now, why is that? Two main reasons. First of all, because AI solutions can drastically increase the customer lifetime value, or LTV, right? Meaning the amount of money spent on your product or software. As AI can turn some labor into software, the right software can dramatically reduce internal and external labor spent on, for example, sales, marketing, customer service, operations, etc. And this makes a company able to spend far more on a product or a software, which can increase the lifetime value and in turn the potential market size for the software by an additional 2 to 15x compared to a traditional SaaS. For example, Barty AI, right, focuses exactly on that niche. And for the full AI suite, Barty charges $1,500 a month, instantly increasing that potential market size by 10 to 15x compared to a traditional SaaS. And Barty just raised a 12 million Series A 2 weeks ago, I think, which I doubt would have happened for a niche specific platform like this in the pre-AI era. But there is another reason. AI can also reduce the customer acquisition cost, or CAC, when acquiring customers in a niche. AI marketing and sales tools can significantly reduce the CAC when targeting smaller niches. For example, voice agents can automate some of the lead qualification, reducing staffing spend for your software business. AI chatbots can automate onboarding and lead qualification. Even AI optimized algorithms from Meta can make it more efficient and cheaper to show ads to small and specific audience. AI can do mass personalized outreach without humans. We have tools like Clay, etc. And all of these can significantly reduce the cost spent on acquiring a new customer, which in turn increases the profit margins on each customer, which in turn increases the potential profitable market size even more. And besides that, with highly niche specific targeting, your companies will connect far better with your message versus a generic message. Again, think, for example, a local business CRM versus an eye care clinic specific AI software. You'll connect better with your target customer. And these combined factors can really make a too small to target niche of 20 million into a 500 to 1 billion potential market size. And there is even a third factor. Because of improved efficiency of the business through your AI software, it can result in a reduced service cost of the business itself. And this often leads to more demand for the service and therefore an even bigger potential market size. So let's say the doctor spends now less time on admin, he can attend more clients, the bookings are made more efficiently, so the price can go down, the convenience will go up for the user, and historically what happens is that the demand for the service will go up. People might go to the doctor twice a year. People who previously couldn't afford the eye doctor will now go because the service is cheaper. Now, many people will also take the conclusion that this means that labor will be replaced and people will lose their jobs, but this is not necessarily true. And we also have some historical data on this. And this is called the Jevons effect, where when there's more efficiency in a business or an industry, it often leads to more usage, just like I explained before, which often leads to more labor demand. Although AI will most likely replace some of the low leverage work and work will shift a bit, new work will most likely also be created as people have to manage these AI softwares and also have human oversight, right? And this has already happened in AI radiology software, which is already better at diagnosing than human radiologists. However, This also means that the cost of radiology is going down, leading to an increased demand for scans, and therefore there's an actual increase in human radiologist demand. And the same has happened with other revolutions like the containerization, right? This initially replaced some labor in docks, but resulted in far more trade worldwide and a huge boom in logistics and warehousing jobs. In the cloud transition, some server management jobs were replaced, but it led to a huge boom in new apps on the internet, resulting in a huge boom in DevOps and other types of jobs. So how do you take advantage of this niche opportunity today? Again, assuming you're not a coder, you don't have huge SaaS experience, and you don't have huge capital to invest or VC connections, the huge opportunity with AI democratizing product building is that building these types of businesses becomes so much faster and more accessible to anyone. And the best approach, in my opinion, is to start as an AI agency, because you get paid while potentially building an AI software business. And this is exactly the roadmap we have followed with our AI SEO system, recruiting system. It's what Jonas has followed for Aura AI, and what countless others have done to build businesses like these in literally months. You build custom first, you learn about the industry, you learn about what to build, then you productize. And the roadmap is simple. You can learn AI automation with no-code platforms like N8N in literally weeks. If you haven't yet, highly recommend you check out my 5-hour N8N tutorial, because after that, you probably know more than enough to start an AI agency. And these no-code tools really allow you to provide highly valuable solutions to businesses very fast. Then, of course, you pick one of these niches, labor-heavy, fragmented markets. You go out to the market, you say you do AI automation. The huge opportunity we have today is that the whole business world is looking at implementing AI. 95% of businesses haven't done anything with it yet. And many people just get their first clients by consistently posting on LinkedIn, YouTube, doing cold email, paid ads, being in communities. And you just start out building custom solutions by solving the company's pain points. You learn about their industry while you're doing this. And once you've built a few things and you've identified a high ROI automation you deliver to a client, you can try to resell that same solution to other businesses in that same niche, giving you more data to build your solution, to improve your solution. And this is really how good software is built, right? Customer feedback is what feeds and builds good products. But again, now we can get paid while building products. And unlike SaaS, this is not a 5 to 10 year roadmap. Once you have a good use case, you can build an MVP with a vibe coding tool or coding agent really fast, or you can start hiring engineers. And of course, lastly, the last step in this play could potentially be to add in more and more tasks and eventually try to become a vertical AI SaaS or the operating system for the niche. Now, if you haven't jumped into AI automation yet, I highly recommend you start at least thinking about it today, because the winners in AI are the ones that jump onto the opportunity now. There's literally never been a bigger opportunity, I think. And if you ever thought about doing something for yourself or starting something for yourself, this is the time. So if you want more help in starting and building your own AI agency or AI business, you can also check out my accelerator in the link in the description, where we try to give you the exact roadmap and resources you need to get started, to get your first clients. Also, if you want that full list of niches and startups, just check it out in the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. And if you got any value out of this video, I highly appreciate a like and a subscribe. It really does help me. Thank you so much. Bye.